Hi, welcome back to the channel, A Busy Retirement with me, Georgie. Today's video is about the Australian aged pension. So we're going to go through the pension, what you need to do to claim it, how much you are entitled to receive, and basically just go through the Services Australia webpage, which is the Australian government webpage for pensions, any payments that come from the federal government. Okay, so hopefully you'll enjoy this little lesson. Let's get on with it. First thing to do is open your web browser. As you can see, I use Firefox. There are many different ones. In the search bar, well, let me move that because that is, you can't see it, but it's I've got a little window here that shows me the timing for my video, and it was hiding because I want to show you what happens is you used to be able to type in here and it would, oops, I'm not very good, my fingernails get in the way. So Services Australia, it's actually up here now in the URL. It wasn't in the search bar. Now that I've hit enter, it goes into the search bar and it gives me the URL up the top. And what we're going to do is, when I prefer to use the computer for most things, I find if you use a phone or a tablet, you don't always get all options. Screens are small to read. I use the computer for most things. My phone I tend to use as a phone for phone calls and messages. Do take some photos with it now and again, and I do have a few apps that I use for around home. Security camera app, my solar panel battery app, things like that, and the weather app. I like to check on the weather occasionally. Most things though, I do use the computer. Now with the computer, when you get to the Services Australia options, I like to right click and open the link in a new tab. And as you can see, I have tabs open up the top here. If I just clicked on that, I'd have none of these tabs, and then I'd have to keep using the back arrow to go back to where I was before, and that does get a bit tedious. So, and also for the video, it's easier for me to have them all open and all in the correct order of where I want to go. So right click on Services Australia link and then left click your mouse button on open link in new tab. Okay, so we've done that, and here's the new tab. This is the government, Australian Government Services Australia. Now with the government website, we also have an app that we can use on our phone if need be, but I tend to use it here as well. Again, we've got what's called MyGov. Now with MyGov, your Medicare card is connected to your MyGov account. Your tax account with the Australian Taxation Office is also available to link. Now it's your choice whether you link all these things together. I haven't actually gone into everything with this MyGov app because I didn't actually start using it until I was getting a pension. I had to have it for the pension because most of the emails that they send me about pension changes come to MyGov, not to my normal email address. So I will show you this and another video, and we'll go through all the options that you've got. Now I could also have my health record attached to this, which makes it easier for me if I go to hospital and I'm unconscious. My doctors have actually got any allergies I have blood test results, things like that. They're actually easy to see. Somebody else can go in and have a look. The doctor has to be registered with My Health Record. If they're not, then your information is not out there. So that's something you can check with your GP. Don't need that information. Now we've gone off track. Let's get back onto track. We're now in Ageing in the Services Australia, where they deliver government payments and services. And down here it shows you all the different options you've got. So there are payments and services to help with the raising of children. There's also information about moving house, relationship changes, even moving to Australia if you're overseas. It gives you information there on what allowances you can apply for. Ageing, of course, which is where we're going to go. Work, there's payments and services if you're unemployed, looking for work, or can't work while you're sick or injured. Education support payments and health and disability payments. Today we're on ageing. So again, right mouse click and open the link in a new tab. And here we are now in the ageing. So with ageing, we've got retirement years, getting aged care services. Now that could be support for getting in your home. If you can remain home, but you do need some support. You might need some services. I actually have a cleaner at the moment once a fortnight, mainly because with the arthritis in my wrist, I can't do vertical cleaning. I can clean bench tops that way using my whole arm, but if I've got to do vertical, I can't. That hand just won't bend. Like that one, I can go all the way. That one is there. That's it. That's my limit. So to clean a wall, I can't do it. So I have a cleaner mainly for that. Caring for the elderly, payments and services if you provide temporary or ongoing care to an older person. Of course, it says older Australian. You have to be an Australian citizen to receive these payments and age pension. Then also there's elder health and safety. So if I get to a stage where I am able to stay in the home, but I'm not quite so steady on my feet, or I need assistance getting up and down, I can get some railings, put in showers, around toilets. There's all sorts of things that you can get. But today we want to look at retirement years, because this is going to tell us all about the payments we can receive. So again, right click on your mouse, left click, open link in new tab, and here we are. So on the pension, you've got two options. We've got top payments, which we're not looking at today. I've never even looked at it, so I couldn't even tell you what's in there. We're actually looking at age pension, because that's what this video is about. And on this page, we've got who can get it, how much can you get, how to prepare to claim, how to claim, and how to manage your payment. So on here it tells you the main income support payment for people who have reached age pension age. So to get this, you must be all of the following. You must be of age pension age, under the income and assets test limits, an Australian resident, normally for at least 10 years. And here we've got the full conditions. Again, right click, open it in a new tab. But what we're going to do today is, I'm not going to go through everything. Who can get it? Right click your mouse, left click on the link and open in a new tab. So who can get it? Age pension age is 67 years or older. Okay, so if you're living in Australia and you are 67 years or older, you can have a look at this and see if you pass all the other rules to claim a pension. Okay, so you need to meet the residence rules, an income test and an asset test. So from here let's have a look at I didn't open the tab for the income test. And then from there, we've got who can get it. And the next one we want to know is how much can you get? And that we're going to take from this menu here on the left. So right click, how much can you get? Open link in a new tab, which I did already have it here. So how much can you get? So once they've done your income and assets test to work how much you can get, again, all of this reading to do, links to click on, income cutoff points, relationship changes, if you or your partner get income from or have assets outside of Australia, may affect your rate. On this one here, my dad, before he passed away, he was getting a small pension from the UK, having worked in the UK from, well, I think he was 14, 15 when he first started work, something like that. And then he was in the Army Reserves for a number of years, and then he worked different jobs. Not a lot of jobs, just a couple of different jobs in the UK, and he qualified for a small pension. It was small enough that it didn't affect how much he actually received from the Australian pension, which was good. Okay, so your normal rate, your basic rate is, your maximum basic rate as a single person, which is what I'm getting, is $1,079.70. Now with that, I get a pension supplement, and this covers, I'll show you what this covers. I didn't open that window, but I will. So this helps with utilities, phone, internet and medicine costs. Okay. And then the other one is energy supplement, so you get a little supplement towards your electricity. So adding all that up, this is my fortnightly payment. Now I've actually done an Excel spreadsheet over a few years now of pension rate. Every 20th of March and 20th of September, we get an increase to our pension. But having said that, come the 1st of July, you get your rates. The financial calendar in Australia runs from 1st of July to the 30th of June the following year. 1st of July, your rates, land rates will go up, which are like council rates, council taxes, whatever you'd call them where you live. Water rates change, electricity goes up, gas goes up, water goes up. If you have private health insurance, that usually goes up in April. So your March raise, some of that gets wiped out with your health insurance. But then, of course, you've got all your other incidentals of petrol, groceries, everything goes up. And I did do a spreadsheet, which if I've got time at the end, I'll show you that. So this is the basic normal rate for a single person. For a couple, combined is $1,777. But if you're a couple and living apart due to ill health, it gets reduced. Now, I'm assuming this is because due to ill health, one of you is in a residential facility. I'm not sure. It's not really very clear. And then, of course, you've got transitional rates. Now, this I don't understand because not having been on a part pension or whatever that means. And for those of you that are watching this, I'm assuming that you're going to be new to having a pension and new to applying for a pension. So this date here means nothing to you anyway. And then of course you've got a tax on payment. So age pension is a taxable payment. We don't automatically deduct tax from your payment, but you can ask us to do this for you. This can help you avoid a debt at tax time. Now, I've never had to worry about this here because I haven't worked since I've been on a pension, and I'm assuming that this means that you are doing a tax return because you are working or you have shares, so you're getting an income from shares which are taxed. I don't know. That's something that you can look at if you need to look at it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is how to prepare your claim. So again, right click your mouse button, open the link in the new tab, and here we go, how to prepare your claim. Now this is the fun part if you do have a partner that's working, because once you've filled in all your paperwork, gathered all your bits and pieces together that they need, you go in, you put your claim in, and then they come back and say, oh, there's we also need this, this and this. So check through here. Hopefully by the time you've gone through all of this, you will have everything you need. Now check when you can claim. I started to claim I actually started the pension after my 66th birthday, because back then it was 66 was the pension age. So I could put in my paperwork 13 weeks prior to my birthday. Now my birthday's in February, so 13 weeks prior, that's looking at 3 months. So in November, I could start all my paperwork, get all my paperwork together and lodge the application so that I got my first payment when I turned 66. So you submit your claim and then they let you know what's going on. And again, this is where you need that MyGov ID and have the MyGov account on their website, because they will send you that mail to MyGov ID, not to your normal email address. So okay, so you've got to prepare all your supporting documents, and here you can read more about which documents you must give. I won't go into all of that because that could take forever. There's also a section on what to do if you've lived outside of Australia. So you usually need to be an Australian resident and in Australia to claim the pension. However, social security agreements may help you claim if you're living or have lived and worked in certain countries. And this is where my dad came in, because he did work in England. I was still a minor when we came to Australia, so even though I did work in England, it didn't matter because I was only 15 when we came here. So international services, so you can have a look at that one. And they also offer support to help. Again, go in, make an appointment and sit with somebody to help you go through it so that you know exactly what you need. If you're not sure on how your finances may affect your eligibility, use the Financial Information Service. It's free. They have a community engagements officer, service support for a carer allowance. So if you're caring for an older person, you can actually get a carer payment. So you need to read up on that. And how to claim, how to claim, again, right mouse click, left mouse click to open in a new tab, and here it is, how to claim. So we'll go through this one. So steps to claiming an age pension: get your documents ready. There's a link here to show you how to prepare. They do give you a lot of information. Unfortunately, a lot of the time the government websites are difficult to navigate, and that's why I'm showing you all of this, how to get to each section. Set up your online accounts. The best way to claim is online. So to claim online, you need a Centrelink online account linked to MyGov. If you don't have a MyGov account or a Centrelink online account, you will need to create them, and here it will show you how to create those. You may need to confirm your identity, so this will tell you how to confirm your identity, what documents you'll need. So like a driver's license, they may need your driver's license number, which state it was your driver's license is issued in, like mine would be in WA. If you have a correspondence nominee, so if you have difficulty writing or eyesight's not too great that you can't work on a computer, you can nominate a person. Like if I was looking after an elderly person, an elderly parent or grandparent, then they could nominate me as their person to complete everything for them. If you want to claim with your partner, it gives you all the information of what you need here. Then we go down to make your claim, if you can claim online. If your Centrelink account is linked to your MyGov, you can claim online, which means signing in, fill all the paperwork in, and I prefer to actually have physical paperwork, fill it in myself. If it's in PDF form, which I think you can get it PDF form, you can fill it in online on the PDF on your computer and actually physically take in all the paperwork. Okay, so then make sure you submit the claim, sign in. It tells you about you'll get an email. Now the email from them is actually, as I said, goes to your MyGov. You will get an email to your normal email address. I will get one that says you have documents available on MyGov. So they don't tell you anything. They don't tell you what it's about. It may say that you have an attachment to open. I can't remember how they word it, but yeah, it comes to your email box, your inbox, and it tells you that you need to go to MyGov because whatever they want to tell you is there, not here. Okay. So all of that, and then you can track your claim. Once you've put a claim in to get the pension, you get a receipt telling you that they got your claim, an ID number of your claim, the date they estimate that they'll complete it, and a link to track its progress. And then they'll send a letter to either your MyGov inbox or Express Plus Centrelink mobile app. So if you've got that app on your phone, it'll go to there, otherwise it'll go to MyGov. You will get, again, your normal inbox and your normal email program will tell you that there's something in MyGov. Go and read it. Okay, so, and again, you've got like setting up online accounts, that's information there, proving your identity, that's all the documents that they require, supporting documents that they require, other forms you may need to complete, transfer to age pension. So there's a lot of information there, and I really didn't want to be getting into all of that because I could be here. This could be a 3-hour-long video. So that's it for the Services Australia website and the information that you've got about pensions. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a video, gave you some information about pensions, how to claim, etc. I'll put a link to Services Australia down in the description. And as that video was only about 24 minutes, maybe 25 minutes long, I'm now going to show you the spreadsheet that I did to show the difference of how much pension increase I got to how much my bills increased by, whether I lost out, whether I gained some. Okay, here goes. Just a quick Now, you may find I'm going to be leaning forward every now and again because I struggle to read the screen. I've got cataracts, so you're going to have to bear with me. So basically what I did was I've got this spreadsheet with my pension increase. So you can see every 6 months I've done March to August, mainly because I get a pension increase in March. And then September, that's September 2024 to February 2025, because in September I get another increase. And as you can see, it keeps going up. This one here, we got a whole increase of $4.60 a fortnight, which was great. And then what I have are my electricity, gas and water. Each one you've got your supply unit cost and consumption unit cost. And I do it by the unit. That's why you can see it's 6 digits here. Some of them are 4 digits. Supply charge for gas, unit price, the service fee and consumption unit price. Now with my gas, I don't get a pension subsidy. Electricity and water I do. The gas I get a discount if I pay it by the due date, which that helps to save a little bit of money. Whoops. And then down here I've got the total for my utilities, whether it's gone up. Here it went down, so I was an extra $10.27 in my pocket. Then I've got my local council rates, or council taxes as you may call them, and on that we have an emergency levy which every person gets that pays council taxes, and this covers the cost of DFES, which is a Department of Fire and Emergency Services. I'll put a link to their page down below so you can have a look at it. This covers fire department, whether it's career fire fighters or volunteer firefighters. It covers the SES, which is the State Emergency Services, and also Marine Services. You can find a lot of information about them on their website. So we've also got the general rate, which everybody has to pay a general rate to the council, and that covers the costs of the road cleaning, curb fixing, tree planting, tree watering. We have what we call verge trees. A lot of places you call it the nature strip, or I don't know, there's all sorts of different names. But it's the bit of land that's between the road and your property. And sometimes there's a footpath beyond it. Sometimes there's not. We don't have footpaths in our cul-de-sacs, but the main streets do have footpaths. So the verge is the bit of strip between the footpath and the road. So everybody pays. It covers costs of libraries because it's free to join a library. It's free to borrow books, videos, DVDs, etc. And then we've got your refuse charge, which our council, we have 3 bins. Every week the red bin goes out, which is your general waste. And then fortnightly, week about, is your yellow bin, which is your recycling. And then the other following week is your green bin, which is your garden refuse. Some councils have what they call FOGO, which is food organics and garden organics. Our council only does garden organics. If you've got food organics that you want to recycle, you need to get your own compost bin. So also I've got a subtotal there. Now this does go up. I've also got a pool inspection fee. Now this is one that is a bit of a bone of contention with me, because it's gone up from $47 last year to this year's rates. It's now $52.50. Now I only get one inspection every 4 years. So by the time that goes up over the next 2 years, I'm assuming it will go up over the next 2 years. That's a lot of money for some guy just to come down and have a look and see if my fence is still in one piece and that my latch on my gate is still self-closing. Now, those of you that have seen my previous videos, you will see how big my pool fencing is and my gate. That's a lot of money to spend for somebody to come and have a look and lift it, open it, see if it closes and check that everything's okay. Yeah. Bit rich, I think. You should only have to pay that once every 4 years. They get a lot of money from everybody for them to go around and check that pool fence. And then I've got my general cost of living, not including petrol, shopping, clothing, hair, you name it. Home and contents insurance, car rego, which I pay 6 monthly, and my private health insurance. I've had private health insurance for donkey's years, and I continued with it when I retired, mainly because it's easier to get into a dentist. Dentist isn't covered by Medicare, so they are expensive in Australia. So I get a good rebate on dental. My glasses, I get a subsidy from the state government. It's so generous, of about $50 every 2 years. But my health insurance, again, covers a fair bit of the cost of my glasses. My hearing, since I've gone on a pension, I am now covered by the Lions Hearing Clinics. So my hearing test, my eye tests are free. They're covered by Medicare, but your glasses are not. My hearing test is free. That's covered by Medicare. And I get my hearing aid batteries also for free. So not doing too bad there. Now, my HBF stayed the same for the last year. It did go up a little bit, but yeah, nothing worth writing home about. I am expecting this to go down now, because as of, I think it's the end of December, I pay a $5 fortnightly fee called Gap Saver. And what that does is, when I go to the dentist and have a clean, that $50 a fortnight mounts up. Actually, no. It works out, I pay $5 a fortnight, so it works out at like about $50 a month, something like that. But that Gap Saver then covers the whole cost of a clean, so I don't have to pay. They've decided to get rid of the Gap Saver, so this will come down, but then I'll still have to pay for my clean, which swings and roundabouts really, isn't it? So anyway, what I wanted to show you was, in March we got a $4.60 increase. Whoop-de-doo. I was then $15.54 out of pocket. September just gone, we got a $29.70 increase in our pension, but because of other things going up, I'm $7.10 out of pocket every fortnight. Keep your fingers crossed that next March we get a decent rise. The Gap Save, this will go down, my HBF will go down by $5, I think it is. So let's see if everything else stays the same or increases astronomically. So that is the end of the spreadsheet. If you'd like something like this for yourself to keep a record of what's going on in your home with your bills, let me know down in the comments. I'm more than happy to set one up for you. I'll have all the formulas for the totals and everything, so you don't have to worry about doing all the working out. I may need to ask you some questions about what you need in this area and what the unit costs are, or you can put your unit costs in yourself, but I will need to know what you need me to put in this area here, so I know how many rows you need, and which 6-month period you want me to do it in, or if it's an annual thing. So that's it now for the spreadsheet. Pop it down in the comments. And next up we have word puzzle time. So what we need to do now is give you the answer to the last word puzzle. I think that was 2 weeks ago. And how did you go? Did you get the answer correct? This is it. High chair. Now, for the new one, see how you go on this. Put your answer down in the comments for what this puzzle is. And I will see you in the next video. Fingers crossed, I'm going to try and get another one done sometime this week to get out for next week. I've been very behind on videos. It's Saturday night when you're getting this one. I normally try to do them Wednesday, but as I've said before, I have got a lot going on at the moment and I just have to try and fit a video in where I can. So take care everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.